everybody? It's your girl Mo.
And I'm Casey.
And you're watching Better Benefit. Let's get into
My melanin shine like miles of diamonds, coastlines and islands when the sunrise. My melanin shine, no doubt about it. Can't go without it, babe. Can't you see? Black is beautiful.
Okay, this is not our usual setup. As you can see, we are traveling, strapped in, blessings made, ready to go. We're running a few errands today, but nevertheless, let's get started, man. The good, bad, and the ugly. Listen, our good this week, even with a recount, Joe Biden won Georgia. He won. Like, it's regardless of Pennsylvania and Michigan, he won Georgia with a recount.
But the thing that's most disturbing is that Georgia is, the entire state is being run by Republicans. The Secretary of State is a Republican. That's who controlled the recount. And this man is still talking about he won the election and he won Georgia.
And that brings us to our bad. ABC News actually stated, running out of legal alternatives to override election laws, President Trump is turning an extraordinary maneuver by requesting Michigan's top state lawmakers to an unexpected visit on Friday, which was yesterday. So, as the bad, he's inviting Michigan's lawmakers for a conversation.
Well, the truth of the matter is he's trying to steal an election from the Oval Office. The Michigan lawmakers, first they said they weren't going to certify Joe Biden. Then they went back and rescinded that and said we're going to certify them. And then that's when 45 asked to meet with them. The problem is this is just another form of gerrymandering and voter suppression. All of the counties that Rudy Giuliani and 45 are attacking are just the black counties. In Philadelphia, he's attacking Philadelphia. Also in Michigan is Wayne County, where most of the blacks live. The really bad part is they can't uncertify the election. So even meeting with them and them saying they're not going to certify it, this doesn't matter because the Electoral College votes have already decided that come January, Joe Biden is no longer going to be president-elect. He's going to be the president of the United States. This man's an idiot.
And the problem with that is it's causing friction between Kamala and Joe because it took so long for Trump to concede. Kamala,
He hasn't conceded.
Well, since he hasn't still conceded yet, Kamala's actually on the board and did an actually classified briefing in which she cannot discuss with Joe, which are actual actions that are going to take place in the United States. And as president-elect, the first thing you need to know is the information that's coming forth now, because that's going to be in your hands in less than 6 months.
Yeah, because he's still treating Kamala Harris as a senator from California who's sitting on a bunch of boards, and she can't divulge information with Joe Biden because Joe Biden is basically an ex-vice president instead of being the president-elect.
Yeah, she's treating him as a citizen.
As a citizen. That's really basically what it is. The real problem is...
A civilian, rather.
Yeah, a civilian. The real problem is not so much that this man has basically said the reason he's doing this is because the Dems did not acknowledge him as president. Barack Obama did not do this with 45. But 45 is a classless man, a very petty man who lost an election. That's as simple as that. And there's no two ways about that. And the Republicans should really be ashamed of themselves for not stepping up and telling this man, hey, it's over, you lost. You have to get over it. I don't care. I just know that the Southern District of New York is expanding their investigation. And pretty soon, when we do speak about 45 in the news, he's going to jail.
On the city, getting arrested on the cell phone.
Yeah, he's going to jail.
But listen, we're going to talk about the ugly. If you haven't heard, well, there were a few uglies that I wanted to talk about. One of them being that Denmark's agricultural minister actually authorized a culling of all the minks. Now, if you're not familiar with culling or a cull or haven't watched 100, culling is a mass slaughter of wild animals. He had thousands upon thousands of minks killed.
All they're gonna do is get white girls over here dashed with paint when they wear their jackets.
But see, that's not the thing. The thing is, it emerged that the government didn't have the legislation in place for such an order. So he illegally killed thousands of wild animals. Oh, you gotta realize the extent of this, because an actual species is going to be extinct. And everything, there are micro ecosystems and macro, small and large. And when you get rid of them, that's just like if we say all ladybugs, we just kill off all the ladybugs.
No, baby, they're doing that right now with the honeybees.
Honeybees.
They don't understand how important the honeybee is to our ecosystem, and this is what's going on with the honeybee.
And if we get rid of honeybees, if you guys haven't taken a basic biology or
our planet won't survive.
Yeah, it won't, because they're the primary carriers for
colonization.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's words out of my mouth, and I'm so passionate about it, you guys, because it's bad enough we're causing global warming.
Yep.
We're ruining our water systems.
Yep.
We're ruining our air supply.
Yep.
But to actually kill off actual species of animals for the sake of fashion or money is downright blasphemous in the name of the Lord. Honestly, you're killing off creations for personal profit and greed, or for no purpose at all.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact.
Listen, I'm gonna just calm down because
we have to deal with the question today, as well as a subject matter that I believe is important. When we reach out to our family members, whether it be our brother or our sisters, and we use the term sister or brother with an ER, it doesn't change if we say brother or sister with an A, because it's still a term of endearment.
Right.
The question of the day is, when is our generations gonna be like our great grandparents and remove the N-word from our vocabulary?
I see what you did there.
The N-word, whether it was with the ER, was solely meant to destroy us. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's no two ways about it. That's the only definition, or this word can only be said in English. There is no translation of any other language that has the N-word. Now, people acknowledge it, but there is no other way to say it. You can't say the N-word in Spanish. You can't say it in Italian. You can't say it in any other language. That is the problem.
And I feel like, and I fault the generation before me, because I fault the baby boomers, because they were coming out of that transitional stage into technology. The word for the female, the B word, it is now used as a word, a compliment, and in no shape, form, or fashion is it defined any differently than a female dog.
Nope. Now, and our grandparents, not to cut you up, our grandparents, like my daddy Jay and my granddaddy Milton, there's no way they would have called each other the N-word. So the question today is, do you believe at any point in time that we as people will stop using this word and allowing it to be used in our culture to represent us? Please leave that in the comments. Well, I'm very, very interested to get your view on it. The second thing Wifey and I want to talk about is Wifey sent out a tweet saying that it's hard for us to stack generational wealth because we keep spreading our generation. And
follow us on all of our social media platforms, you guys, so you can stay updated on what we talk about during the week.
Okay, so the generational spreading we're speaking of is when we step outside of our race, and those that are successful are taking our generational wealth, which would be the black dollar, and dividing it with, say, the Mexicans, or dividing it with, say, the whites, or the Asians, this, that, and other. Is this the reason why it's so hard for us to stack generational wealth? Because every time one of us gets a white girl, it's never the Angelina Jolie's. It's always the fat, nasty white girl who doesn't have anything.
we got on that conversation because we started talking about Serena Williams and Simone Biles. The thing about it is, these are two of the world's greatest athletes. Not only that, but they are entrepreneurs and they are public figures. They've both been on the cover of CoverGirl. Like, let me tell you, they are influencers.
Yep.
And both of them, well, one of them is actually married to a Caucasian man and has a child. The other one is actually dating in that realm. And when we talk about generational wealth, all other quote-unquote races or ethnic groups usually stick to their own. Asians stay with Asians, Mexicans stay with Mexicans. I don't have a problem with biracial couples. However, when it comes to wanting to build a brand, to build a community where we uplift each other, we keep spreading the positivity to be inclusive.
J-Lo used us. And
Yeah.
and you guys, I'm okay with the comments because I will respond. But let's call a spade a spade. Jennifer Lopez used black people. It started with In Living Color. She was just a backup dancer. And then she went from there to getting with Diddy. And then when that didn't work, once she got on with Diddy, Sean went to prison. And then she started messing with the white boy. She was with Ben Affleck. And Diddy sent them 2 Rolls Royces, and that didn't work. And then she went and married the Mexican, her and Mark Anthony. And then they had 2 kids. It's not. And now look, she's fighting to get back into the black light. Her albums were produced by the Beatnuts and had all features of all the hottest rappers in the 90s on it. She used us. Now she's got a residency in Vegas. That shouldn't have happened. That shouldn't have happened. Like, I mean, you could have taken any of the Fly Girls and plugged her in, and her career would have been just as big. Because for a long time, when Diddy said Bad Boy was, shout out to Deshaun Combs. When we laughed at you last week with your diving, but make no mistake about it, your musical genius, you had the world speaking and thinking that when you said Bad Boy was going to be on top 10 years from now, even on the West Coast, we had no choice but to bite the bullet and accept that because you guys were so hot. That's how Jennifer Lopez tricked the world. She used us as a stepping stone. So I'm asking, why is it when black people start to get on top, we're not okay with the people that look like us in the mirror? That just seems wrong. Plenty of black men have chased down Serena Williams. Plenty. From Drake to Jamie Foxx, and now Jamie Foxx is with a white girl.
It's not, like I said, it's not to downplay biracial couples, but what it is about is we keep asking the question as to why aren't there more gated communities with black families in it. It's because we don't produce what we're asking for. You can't sit there and say, well, why don't we have a black Bill Gates? You can't say, why don't we have just take if you put most of these common-faced white people and put them in the black realm, I think the world would be totally different. But you guys, moving on to our WTF, I just have to put, when I was talking about greed, let me tell you, a mastermind, an Alabama man was arrested and accused of tampering with a computer to increase his work hours and creating a fake employee alias connected to his bank account and stole over $30,000 working at Burger King.
Yeah, you was wasting your talent, brother. Like, I know it's WTF, but man, oh man, you should have, if you had that type of, if I knew how to do something like that, I'm not working at Burger King. I'm going to a Fortune 500 company, a $1 billion company, and
he could have been a custodian at Apple.
Anywhere. Anywhere. He could have, yeah, this is really stepping over a dime to pick up a penny type thing. You stole $30,000. You'll get the same amount of time you just stole $30 million. You know who else going to jail?
You were about to lose your job.
You were in jail. Also, I want wifey to look at this. For all those times, this is why the internet and social media is so important now. I sent this to wifey. I don't know if you had a chance to look at it. There is no way to stop us now when you can put the boot on the car. I did not know a pen could get the boot off the car until I saw this. Check this out. Now that might be a WTF moment, but are you telling me that a boot, when people got the boot, not only would you get clowned and laughed at, but that was the end of all. There was no getting the boot off. Now an ink pen and a razor blade, and I'm back at it.
Man, listen, when I found out a pair of pliers could get a sensor off a shirt, I was in booster heaven. Let me tell you something.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Better benefit, we do not condone what that's all about. But just, I do not want to know.
Listen, another WTF. If you are not watching the versus battles, what are you doing? Okay? Because Jeezy versus Gucci Mane was promoted so tough, you thought it was a SmackDown Sunday Night Raw situation.
That was horrible.
But there's two portions of that entire battle that I found horrendously hilarious. One, when Gucci himself promoted his album that was dropping that night right after the battle.
Now listen, I love Gucci. Make no mistake about it. I love Gucci October on. Everything before that was trash, man.
Lemon was good because y'all did on lemon. I think that was pretty good. I liked that one.
Let me tell you something, man. We watched Jeezy when he was in that group on Bad Boy and knew this dude is not going to be in this group long. But we knew Jeezy had skills. That Thug Motivation 101, they had anthems on there. And your boy was calling himself the Snowman. We all knew what that meant, even when he was hanging out with Big Meech.
I find that funny too. Jeezy is the Snowman, but Gucci Mane's ad-lib is Bert.
Yeah, he's an ice cream. It was one of those things where, I don't know, you're too young to remember this, but Master P got into it with a bunch of cats from California because he's calling himself the Ice Cream Man. And he put a song called Ice Cream Man. And the loonies addressed it right to his face, saying, here is something that I can't understand. How the F Master P keep calling himself the Ice Cream Man? B, that's always been Drew Down.
Period.
Okay. That's what happened.
Listen, my second favorite part, when I tell you, I posted on Twitter in 23 seconds, and there were already like 4 other tweets from people I follow. When he said, take a look at my opponent. Take a look at my opponent. When I tell you Jeezy looked fresh off the CITI, City Trends is fashion for less. When he was fresh off the clearance rack, to me, because I feel like those big numbered jerseys with the stars on the side, I feel like that was, a little, he got the bandana, the Walmart bandana around his head. Cool, whatever. You a Jimmy Ma, you need to step it up. But anyway, Gucci was like, my suit cost 10, my outfit cost 10 bands. When I tell you he was clean, he was clean. But the fact that everybody was tweeting, look at
my outfit cost 10 bands. Look at my opponent. I ain't got no $10,000 outfit, but I own half of Atlanta.
And then people that are defending Jeezy's like, is it a fashion contest? Then people who support Gucci were like, 10 bands for a trench coat and a turtleneck? Like, man, listen.
I just thought about that. All them pretty black girls in Atlanta, Georgia, and Jeezy went and got a Chinese girl from Oakland. Jimmy Ma is an average Chinese girl out of Oakland. The city is littered with them.
Our word of the day is understatement. And the definition of understatement is the presentation of something as being smaller, worse, or less important than it actually is. When I tell you Kamala Harris being vice president is great, is an understatement.
Yep.
When I tell you Black Lives Matter, just that statement alone is an understatement.
Yep.
When I tell you the voter suppression is real, that is an understatement.
Yeah, he's doing that right now. But if you'd have told me 2 years ago, you told me last year, that there had been a black woman in this country that had more power than Michelle Obama, I would have said you're wrong.
You're a liar.
And you guys, I told you to your face and in English, you're a liar. And you guys can leave that in the comments. As powerful as Michelle Obama is, she's not Kamala Harris. Because Kamala Harris is one bad thing from happening to being the most powerful person.
One pinprick away. Shoot.
Not woman, the most powerful person in the world. And then white folks said we trust her.
But best to believe she got, and as profound that statement was, she literally has one coon movement. She's one coon movement away from being one of the most hated women in the world too.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. But that's what I'm saying though. That's why they say heavy is the head. With great responsibility comes, or with great power comes great responsibility.
Too much is given, much is required.
Absolutely.
Listen, it's so many things that could be done right now. If Black and Beautiful, Ebony, Vogue, cover, if y'all don't step in and make Kamala the cover girl next year, I'm gonna have some problems.
Oh, they're gonna have some problems because they're gonna be fighting to get her picture. She's gonna be everywhere. She's gonna be bigger than Michelle Obama. And I would have never believed that.
But listen, let's move on to our affirmation. Some people, listen, I'm not talking about you, I'm talking to you, okay? Some people have to pretend you're the bad person so they don't feel guilty about the messy things they did to you. God forbid they be accountable for their own stuff.
Yep.
Let me tell you something. There is a time and a place for everything.
Season for everything.
Everything has a season.
Yep.
But you guys, we're getting into some traffic. And if you're not following on our social media, make sure you do that. As always, my name is Mo.
And I'm Casey.
And you're watching Better Benefield. And if you like these car talks, let us know because we take a road trip every weekend. See you next time.